Last week, the bakers faced their first two challenges.
On your marks, get set, bake.
For the signature challenge, a triple layer cake.
Oh, doesn't that look gorgeous?
The technical challenge was a Battenberg.
I've never made Battenberg before. I don't like Battenberg.
And when they squared up to the judges, Alex was crowned star baker.
Alex.
But mistakes in her presentation meant that Elaine had to leave the tent.
Hope it goes well for the others. There's some super bakers in there.
Now they take on pastry for another technical bake.
Not feeling good.
I am making balls of everything I touch.
And their first showstopper.
Don't tell Paul or Biddy that I'm doing a lot of winging, but there is a lot of winging it going on today.
It's worse than I thought. My blood pressure.
Then they faced the judges. Biddy White Lennon, food writer and forager with a consuming passion for Irish baking.
We've got a bunch of very creative bakers. We want what lifts an ordinary bake right into the stratosphere.
And Paul Kelly, a man with an international reputation as a heavyweight amongst pastry chefs.
They're here to compete, and everybody should be going into that tent to win.
11 people out to prove that they are the best amateur baker in the land. Only one of them will make it.
Once again, Tinnakill House in beautiful County Wicklow sets the scene for our search to find the best amateur baker in the land. This week, it's about pastry, so it's probably going to be a roller coaster with some flaky moments. Because this is the Great Irish Bake Off.
Week 2 on the Great Irish Bake Off, and time for the bakers to show off their pastry skills, starting with the technical challenge.
I don't do a lot of pastry. I do a lot more cakes than pastry, but I've done a lot of practicing, so hopefully it goes okay.
I normally love pastry, so I'm going to maybe just try and go in and actually follow the recipe to a T without thinking about it.
For this bake, the judges expect to see the standard of precision and technique that they insist on in their own kitchens.
I'm very excited about Pastry Week. I love tin pastry. I love to see bakers being very accurate when they're rolling the pastries, and of course combination of flavours. Do their flavours make sense? Does one flavour overpower another? Is there too much of one, not enough of another?
Hello, bakers. Welcome back to the tent and welcome to your technical challenge. This week, it's all about pastry, and we want you to make a dingle pie. I once asked my home economics teacher, what's the best thing to put into a pie? And she said, your teeth. I know, it's getting worse. Biddy, tell us about this technical challenge.
This is a very traditional dish. The main ingredient, of course, is the lamb. It's Conmara mountain lamb. It's the black-faced sheep. And the flavour of Conmara lamb is absolutely wonderful. Now, when all is said and done, it's just a meat pie. Nevertheless, it's quite difficult, and you should read the recipe.
This challenge will be judged blind, so I need to ask Paul and Biddy to leave the tent.
Good luck.
Good luck, all.
Bakers, this dingle pie needs to be perfectly formed. Otherwise, Paul and Biddy won't be happy, and the people of Dingle certainly won't be happy. You have 2 hours and 15 minutes for this challenge. On your marks, get set, bake.
Of course, I had to add some wild things to it. So that's going to be flavoured with wild garlic, wild apple mint, some ordinary common or garden thyme. And that's going to be served in the traditional way with a broth, and it's seasoned with wild roan berry jelly.
I don't really make savoury stuff, so all in all, it's totally uncharted territory.
It is challenging, and I'm the token Kerry person in the room, so I'm going to have to acquit myself well on this challenge to do my fellow county persons proud.
What's rowan berry jelly? I haven't got a clue. I didn't even know there was a rowan berry.
I've never heard of a dingle pie before, so, and I never made hot water crust before, so Biddy didn't make it easy.
I can just imagine her just kind of crawling through the bushes, trying to find these strange ingredients. Yeah, that's not my cup of tea. Yeah, I just eat it rather than go into the forest. I'm not an outdoors person. 4 Seasons is as close to nature as I get.
We've got traditional dingle pies here in front of us.
Yeah.
What are you expecting from the pastry, first of all, this week?
It's a hot water using real pig's lard pastry, and it should and will be very, very crisp if it's correctly mixed.
With the lamb, I mean, my natural reaction would be with any meat, to seal it off, to seal the flavours inside. But you don't want that in this case.
The whole point of not sealing the meat is to allow the meat absorb the flavour of the herbs.
And in the jug then, we've got more flavours.
We've got the lamb broth made from the bones, and then some really finely diced
The
vegetables.
leek, the onion, the carrot, and the celery.
And they'll still have a bite to them.
It's got to be very important that the balance of seasoning between the broth and the pie is perfect.
But it's logical. I mean, people know that you make a pie, you season it.
Never assume.
It's actually in the recipe. Season to taste.
The first step is to trim the mountain lamb of any excess fat.
Yeah, I love lamb, but I don't get to eat it so much because my wife hates it, so.
My mum would love to see me do this because I was a real squeamish kid, so I hated touching stuff. If I had a choice, I'd be making sweet stuff. Because when you're making sweet stuff, you can just lick your fingers, right? But you can't really lick your fingers with these.
Next, the carrots are diced and sweated with a knob of butter.
Is that a knob?
I think so.
Few of the bakers have even heard of a dingle pie, and some are already outside their comfort zone.
I'm not feeling too positive about it. I'm a little confused. I'm a lot confused, actually.
Poppy, you searing your meat.
I don't know what to do. I have no idea about these things. I have no intuition, so I think I'm just gonna go with the recipe and just not sear it. Are you putting in the filling raw?
Yeah, I'd love to sear it. I'd love to.
Yeah, I don't. It's really weird.
But
Are you searing? It's against all my instincts to put it raw.
exactly.
Hey there, Anna.
Hi, Tala.
How are you?
I'm good. I just heard you there with the dilemma to sear or not to sear.
Yeah, that is the question.
So the recipe
Seriously,
doesn't mention it.
No, it doesn't really mention anything about the filling. I'm very baffled about that.
In what way
It
does it
doesn't mention how to make the filling. There's no method of how to make the filling.
So what are you
Sneaky Petey.
Yeah. So what are you going to do with the lamb then?
I'm not sure yet. I'm just cleaning it now from bits of fat, but that's it pretty much. I'm not sure.
Nearly 3 years ago, Tala and her husband Liron moved to Ireland from Israel. And she's no stranger to working under pressure.
So as part of being an Israeli, you have to do a mandatory service in the army of 2 years. There's a lot of hardcore pressure. It kind of gives you perspective about things like the bake-off. It's supposed to be a piece of cake for me, wouldn't it?
I'm very excited about seeing the dingle pie. I mean, it's got a lot of different elements in there. It's got the vegetables, the lamb, and of course it's got the hot water pastry, which I haven't really used a lot of, but I'm excited to see how this turns out.
The basic ingredients of the pastry are a traditional mix of lard and salt.
Lard smells weird.
Simmered gently in hot water.
I've never made hot water crust pastry before. It's a bit of a mystery. I'm not sure how quickly this has to come together.
Once simmered, flour is added to the mix. Next, the pastry dough must be divided into large pieces for the casing and a smaller cut for the base.
Look, I've never made it before. Not only that, I've never heard of it before. I'm thinking it's a kind of a cousin of a Cornish pasty.
Tell me about your pastry. How are you feeling about it?
It's the weirdest thing. Like, I know it's right because I've seen it done. So I know
Why is it weird?
the right stuff. Because it's like pastry, the whole thing is you're supposed to keep it cold. Like, on pain of death, pastry must be kept cold at all times. Cold hands, etc.
Yes.
And this is like the complete opposite. It has to be hot to be able to work with it.
Okay. You have the carrots, you have the herbs.
I have it all in,
You have the lamb, which isn't seared.
It's not seared. My intuition is to sear it. But because I'm in such uncharted territories with this, I just thought, intuition bad, recipe good.
22-year-old student Poppy is a dedicated foodie. And although she faces our judges today, she's usually her own harshest critic.
I can be kind of perfectionist to the point of letting myself down if something goes wrong at the very end, that I'll just like pick up the whole thing and throw it out and like, you know, storm off. I'm a bit better now than I was when I was younger. I've kind of given myself a good talking to, and my mum has given myself a good talking to. I think I should be able to hopefully hold it together.
You put the biggest ones on the bottom, eh?
Yeah, the biggest ones on the
I can change it anyway.
It's not the neatest work I've ever done, but it's also not the messiest, I think. And the way I see it, it's quite hard to be the best of a bunch of 11 really good bakers. But with that rationale, it should also be quite hard to be the worst of 11 really good bakers.
Hi, Ali.
Hi, Anna. How are you?
I'm good. How is your dingle pie?
I don't know if it's dingle pie, but it's turning out to be something.
It's a pie.
Some kind of thing, yeah.
They're a little chunky, aren't they, your ones? Or no? Do you think they're the right size?
Difficult to say because I seared it, so I don't want them to be completely tiny because it's going to be dry.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's the time actually. I'm not really watching it. I'm waiting for you to shout at us.
I'm going to shout a time now, just for you. Bakers, you have 1 hour. 1 hour remaining.
Anna was right about the chunky, wasn't she? A bit chunky with food. Why did she say that? Anna, don't do this to me, please.
It's week 2 on the Great Irish Bake Off, and the bakers face a difficult technical challenge. 1 hour ago, they were asked to bake a traditional dingle pie.
To make it look nice, you need to dome the meat so that you've got a nice, well-filled pie. You need to be really generous with all the herbs because they complement the flavour of the lamb. You need to remember to season it and do a very nice egg glaze so that you get a golden shiny top.
My lamb is quite raw. It's still like kind of going bee, bee. Should we do a duck pie?
And Paul's deadly little twist. It's a little rope edge.
No, it's just the rope thing. It says to create a decorative finish. I don't think it's very decorative.
And that doesn't look pretty at all, does it?
On each pie, pinch the outer edges.
Jenny,
Anna.
what did you have difficulty with?
Where it has a decorative rope-shaped outer edge.
Yes. What do you imagine that to look like?
Well, a rope, but I just don't know how I make that look like a rope.
Because that's like one beautiful smooth ravioli at the moment.
Yeah, one giant lamb ravioli.
Yeah. So how are you going to rope it up?
I have no idea. Not a clue.
Maybe you just squash it in. Go on.
Like inwards. Oh, right, like it's...
With the pastry sealed, the bakers turn their attention to presentation. The instructions call for 12 identical pastry leaves, 3 on each pie.
You know the 12 leaves. How are you going to cut them?
By hand?
Just make a leaf.
Yep.
Do you have to do a special design or just any type of leaf?
Whatever you want. I think whatever you can.
Okay.
Dave Murphy's passions are football and baking, and he already has his own team of eager tasters in his kitchen at home.
I got into baking when I was unemployed, fed up sitting around. I was trying to think of ways that I could maybe get a bit more money for myself. Start doing it every day and developed more and more skills and trying different stuff.
Can I ask what this crazy little mascot is here?
This is my eldest son, Cody's teddy bear. He brought it into hospital when he had an operation. He was only 6 weeks old. He passed it on then to my youngest son, Skylar, and then the two of them gave it to me as good luck.
How are you approaching it then this week?
Just
Because you were stressed and I could see it. So have you just tried to relax a little bit this week?
Yeah, just big time, yeah. Just trying not to think about it at all now.
Okay.
Just come in and pretend I'm opening a cookbook and yeah, I'll make that.
Okay. 40 minutes, bakers. That's 4-0. 40 minutes to go.
Not good, really not good. They have to go in the oven really soon, so they're probably not going to be done. Shit, they look like shit.
Mine look like that. One looks good, and the other 3 look middle of the road, mediocre. They only have to eat one anyway, don't they?
Mother of two, Hazel Ryan Sheehan from Limerick, is serious about baking. She hopes one day to open her own bakery, and her baking already clocks up a lot of interest on her website.
I have a blog and I like to write. I write about my baking, so it's nice, it's therapeutic to write. And then people respond to what I've baked, and people have asked me to make specific things or to show them or give a little tutorial how to do things.
With the pies in the oven, the bakers now need to get started on the broth.
It's literally just veg. It's not something I'll ever do. Like, it's broth. Who does that?
I have no idea what this is.
Having a Scooby-Doo.
Rowanberry.
Rowanberry. Oh, interesting.
The dingle pie comes from the home county of Tracy Coyne. By day, a high flyer in the finance world. In the evenings, a domestic goddess, baking for 3 hungry children.
My typical judging panel is an average age of 8. This is going to be a really new experience for me to have actual adults judging my food. But look, bring it on.
Bakers, you have 30 minutes remaining. There's just 30 minutes to go.
She said don't mess with the recipe so it won't.
Last week, Tressa struggled with her timings, and this week's not proving any easier. She's the only baker whose pies have not yet gone into the oven.
If I was at you, I'd turn the oven up a little bit.
Oh, Shane, I am just such a mess. What is wrong with me? My tray has gone sideways in the oven. Oh, what did I do on somebody in this world? I am making balls of everything I touch. Everything. This cooker's annoying me. Do you know what? I just don't think I can work under pressure.
Time is running out, and opinion is divided over whether or not to strain the vegetables for the lamb broth.
I'm straining because that's broth.
Yeah, I think it's clear as well.
I'm straining.
Are you straining or not straining?
I'm not straining. Are you straining?
Strain or not strain, that's the question, isn't it?
Bakers, you have 10 minutes remaining. 10 minutes on the clock.
Please go on fire, and then that'll be my excuse. They've all leaked everywhere.
Bakers, time is up. Stop baking.
Went horribly wrong. 2 words. Horribly wrong. Wasn't pretty.
Nervous would be the understatement. Yeah, I think that anybody who's not nervous for every challenge going forward is probably complacent and not a good thing.
I don't hope anybody else's goes bad, but I just hope mine isn't the worst. Let's put it that way. I'm just glad I'm not the one who has to taste it. So if anybody gets sick, it's not going to be me anyway. So yeah.
It's a blind tasting for the judges. They have no idea which baker goes with which pie.
Hello, bakers. Well done on the pie challenge. Biddy and Paul now are going to taste them all.
No flavour of that.
No, need more seasoning.
We're missing quite a bit of egg wash here.
And this has been done with the fork when they were told to roll it over
That's
and
right.
get a rope effect. I wonder, was that meat brown or something by accident?
Sealed off, you mean?
Yeah. Right, we'll move on, I think.
Move on to this one. Just looking at it, it looks quite nice.
The rope effect is pretty good. We've got all those lovely carrots and celery.
I mean, I would eat the broth on its own.
Yes, it's delicious.
It is delicious.
Very nourishing. At least there's lots of herbs in there.
There is a lot of herbs, yeah.
It's good.
And lots of meat. No flavour off that.
The meat is very big, large pieces too.
We have 2 leaves, a good attempt at 2 leaves. And then we have what looks like a Christmas tree or a fish. Now, I applaud creativity, but when it comes to the technical challenge, the best thing you can do is stick to the recipe, stick to the method.
Are there any herbs in there at all? Why did I go uphill and down dale to get that wild garlic? I fell down a ditch trying to collect it.
It is very attractive.
Very attractive. It's got a lovely glaze. It's saying, eat me. This broth is beautifully done.
Yeah.
Look, we've got these tiny little diced carrots.
Are stunning, actually.
Yeah, and when you have that with that, it's lovely.
It's 4 different pieces of pie on a plate.
And it wasn't what we asked for. It's got to look as if they're not plonked down randomly on the pastry. We had very precise instructions, and we really did warn them about following the recipe, and yet some of them just didn't. It was amazing the number of people who just didn't seem to think that you needed to put salt and pepper into the pie.
Bakers, it's been a very long day, hasn't it? Yes, you must be absolutely exhausted, so well done to all of you. I'm going to leave Paul and Biddy now to give you the marks from 11 to 1.
Okay. Who wants this bake? You're in 11th place. This bake? You're in 10th place.
9th place goes to Ali. Tala is 8th. Hazel 7th. David takes number 6. 5th for Trassa. Alex is 4th. And 3rd place for Shane.
These two. Well, it's been difficult to choose between them, but this is the prize bake.
Well, I'm delighted, I'm absolutely over the moon. Pastry is one of my favourite things to make. So if I was going to come first in a technical, that would be the one I would want.
It's not great to go in to bed knowing that you have to do really, really well. If I get any disasters at all tomorrow, it's gonna be quite tough.
Having demonstrated their skill and precision in the technical bake, it's time for the bakers to get creative as they take on the showstopper challenge.
The bakers have had time to prepare themselves, so we're expecting the standard to be extremely high. All the details, all the stuff they've learned so far has to come into place now.
For the first showstopper, the judges are looking for something simply spectacular. The bakers may have practiced at home, but now they must deliver under the pressure of the baking tent.
I'm excited. It's something that I make at home, but I've just kind of changed the presentation of it to kind of suit the challenge. It's gone down well with friends and family, so I think it should go down well with the judges.
I want to get in there and actually just try out the things and just see how they work. Don't tell Paul or Biddy that I'm doing a lot of winging, but there is a lot of winging it going on today.
Hello, bakers. A brand new day and a brand new challenge. Today, it's the Showstopper Challenge. Biddy and Paul want you to make something eye-popping and amazing to show off your creative and technical skills. As you know, this week is all about pastry. And as someone once said to me, pastry can be like a fussy old dame. Either it's a little too hot, a little too cold, or it hasn't been rested enough. Today, we need 2 bakes from you. 1 savoury, 1 sweet. As simple as that. Bakers, you have 4 hours for the Showstopper Challenge. On your marks, get set, bake.
I've decided to just new day today, put a new foot forward and see how it goes. So hopefully it won't be a complete disaster.
Tried most of it before. Some of it is going to be a little bit of a mystery. But that's always interesting when you're baking, right?
I thought that I was quietly confident about pastry, but I'm less confident about it today, so I really don't know. I couldn't say.
People think, 4 hours you can whip up a bunch of pies or tarts or whatever. It's not. You need time to rest your pastry. The fillings need to set. Then obviously time for a finish, because of course this is a showstopper. So it seems a long time, but in reality it's not.
The Showstopper Challenge, this is where we see the wow factor. You know, it has to be in front of our eyes that there's something magnificent happening.
For me, you gotta team your piece. I mean, stop the show, really, to make the judges go, my God, that's amazing.
Do you think they're going to shine in this challenge?
I think it's possible that they would be less experienced in pastry than in cakes and things. Nevertheless, they have hand skills, they have eye skills, and they have taste buds that work.
There are a couple of people who are pushing to the front at the moment.
I'm expecting Jenny to be very, very good and capable in this challenge. She's very creative. And Alex and Shane, in many ways, they're similar. They're very kind of clinical, they're structured, they're very disciplined in their approach to every challenge.
So, the level of baking at the technical challenge, Tade got 11th place.
And can I just say, he deserved 11th place with that performance. It was shocking.
Tressa has had time issues so far. How do you think she'll be with this?
Well, if she takes the time to write down the timing of her bakes, it'll make an awful difference. She has a great warmth about what she's doing with food and baking. She loves it.
She instructed me to slap her in the face if she goes behind schedule.
Or she starts going into a flap.
Hi, Tressa.
Hello, Anna. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. We decided today we're not baking. We're working to a time plan. So we're just going to do a time experiment and see can I forget about the bacon.
I've been perspiring watching you coming up to the end of the challenges.
I'm not doing that today. I'm going to be sitting on my stool with half an hour to spare, drinking a cup of tea.
Lovely. You found your prayer again?
I did find my prayer, yeah. So it wasn't
Slow me down, Lord.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that's
still,
the
I
wrong
think he
thing.
needs to hurry me up.
Hurry up. Hurry me up, Lord.
I kind of thought that last night. I might be using the wrong prayer.
Poppy, I'm stealing your cling film. My station's absent of everything.
Did we just finish our pastry at the exact same time? Is that a really beautiful moment?
It is, or it's a really bad sign of something going to occur?
Just de-stroking my spinach for my savoury bake. I probably would never be this precise at home, but Biddy and Paul like their precision.
How are you feeling about the presentation?
I've thought it through, and in my head I've cut and done all the shapes.
Okay.
I've never actually tried it before, so that was all just from taking on feedback from yesterday.
So you've adapted it since the feedback from yesterday?
So,
wow.
but it's all in my head, so it's like composing music in your head without actually playing it. It's kind of weird, isn't it?
27-year-old Shane Murray feels good about the showstopper and is confident that he can create a bake that stands out from the crowd.
With presentation, I suppose, is my strongest point, and hopefully that will stem through all my challenges.
Shane's showstopper bakes are rhubarb and custard with elderflower meringue 99s, alongside savoury salmon en croûte with samphire.
Are you a competitive type of
Yeah, I
person?
tend to be.
Are you?
Yeah.
In what way?
Just I like to do my best in anything that I do. So,
Okay. Would you have entered competitions with baking or anything else when you were younger?
I used to enter, like horticultural shows and stuff.
Did you?
Yeah. When I was really young,
Like how young?
12, 14.
And how much are you feeling that this is a competition? Because I suppose there's a lovely atmosphere.
No, we all got very friendly very quickly.
Yeah. But are you the type of person that in the back of your brain is saying,
A little bit.
yeah,
But they're all very nice people. It is a kind of...
most of them are horrible.
No, they're all
You need
very...
to beat them all. Bakers, there's 1 hour gone. That means there's 3 hours remaining.
I like to keep a really tidy station. I'm really on top of things.
I told you the gods were against me, didn't I?
Duck fat, yay, loads. I love duck confit, so it's a duck confit pie. This is completely a Weight Watchers recipe, completely Weight Watchers. Hello guys. Hi, how are you? How's it going for you?
Hello, Ali.
It is going.
Adventurous Ali, that's what I'm calling you.
Not rebellious. No.
Well, no, not yet. Even from day one with your version of the Black Forest, you were just so intent in getting amazing flavours, different textures, stuff I've never really, at an amateur level, you would never expect to see.
I just don't want to be boring. I think that's my general motto. I'd rather say inappropriate things. Maybe my husband is sometimes embarrassed by me. But,
Embarrassed, is he?
Yeah, but he wouldn't want someone boring, so I think that's my biggest
So
stretch.
you bring that quality to all your baking then as well?
Yeah, to everything.
Give us a bit of that, then we'll have a taste.
And when you're getting these into the pie, you're skinning it,
Oh.
are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me taste it.
That's what I'm talking about. Every element has to have flavour, but in the right amount. Don't for a second change who you are. I think it's great. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, learn from it.
So like the duck, yeah?
The duck is delicious. Well done.
Great, thank you.
Well done, Ali.
Poppy, do you have a baking tray I can take? I have to peel them, and then they're layered in the pie with pork, apple, sausage meat, parma ham, sautéed mushrooms with thyme, and black pudding. So it's kind of like a picnic pie with breakfast in it.
For his showstopper bakes, Alex is making a savoury, full Irish-inspired hot water crust pie with green and yellow tomato ketchup, followed by a sweet pastry bake of French-inspired strawberry tart.
I love full Irish breakfast. I mean, who doesn't?
Yes.
So I decided to just put it in the pie. Thank you.
Okay.
And
Why does
so-
this remind you of home, or?
Well, see, every Sunday my mum and I go shooting, and I'm part of.
Do you now?
We do rifle shooting,
Really?
and we come back, and we usually have.
I can
full
see
Irish
you in
breakfast.
tweed. I can see
No, it's
with
not.
the little cap, Sherlock Holmes style.
No. And my nan usually has like a full Irish grill or breakfast ready, so it's just every Sunday. It's kind of, I know, it's something that's I've grown accustomed to.
Okay.
Very close to. So I decided to make a homage to the breakfast in a pie, so to speak.
I don't know anyone who shoots.
Now you do.
Now I do.
This week's final challenge is the showstopper. 2 pastries, 1 sweet and 1 savoury, followed by the elimination. If the bakers fail to provide the wow factor, they could be leaving the tent today.
Bakers, 2 hours gone, 2 hours left.
I've invented it for the bake-off. And the last time I did it at home, it didn't come out right. So I have a stand. I have a cone stand to like put them in. That's my plan.
This looks lovely and luscious. Thank you. So we've got semi-dried tomatoes, isn't it?
Sun-blushed, yeah.
Sun-blushed.
And spinach and goat's cheese and basically things I like to eat. All of them.
Yeah, I like to eat all of those together too.
Well, that's good news.
This is the chocolate I put into the cream here. I have this kind of coffee flavoured cream, so I'll let the chocolate cool a good bit down to about room temperature, and then fold it in. It kind of makes a chocolate ganache mousse.
Dave's savoury bake is broccoli and bacon pie with mozzarella and pine kernel topping. His sweet is a velvet mocha tart.
I feel myself that I went a bit too plain, you know what I mean? Because if you look around, you see all the stuff that they're making, but I don't know, we'll see what they think of it. Hopefully it tastes gorgeous.
You're well ahead.
Yeah, but see, it could be just too plain, too pastries, like, but that's my baking personality.
And they both short crust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One's sweet and one is...
Probably a little bit plain for a showstopper, maybe. But if you've got great flavours in there, that'll do for a lot.
I didn't put it on something high enough.
Tracy's bake is a raised chicken and ham pie, and for her sweet pastry, a rhubarb and frangipane tart.
Savoury pie in the oven, it's got about 25 minutes left.
Oh, well, can I open?
You can, of course, absolutely. So I just...
Look at the height of that.
Yeah, so there's ham and chicken, pistachios, cranberries, apricots, and a few onions and a few kind of herbs and spices.
Looks spectacular.
How long have we got left?
1 hour, 30 minutes until you're sitting on that stool.
We'll say maybe 45.
Okay.
All right.
I'm assembling my phyllo anchor.
Jenny's showstopper bakes are a butternut squash and kale phyllo anchor, accompanied by a spiced apple and pear pecan crumble with a pirate ship for lavender custard.
I've tried it a few times.
I have structural issues pretty much every time, but hopefully I can kind of get it together this time. I don't think this is brave at all. I think this is idiotic at the moment. If it looks like an anchor, I'll call myself brave, but at the moment I feel like a fool.
I don't believe it. Pastries after falling apart. Being finished first isn't reassuring really in a way, because all the other designs and cakes and pies and all are so good, like, but that's the way I bake at home, so.
Bakers, you have 30 minutes to go, okay? That's half an hour remaining. There's 20 minutes to go.
Yeah.
How long does that take to bake?
35.
How many?
35.
35, okay.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
You can do it. Maybe make the decision to put it into the oven.
Yeah, I think I just will, and then I can try and dress it up somehow.
Would you do me a favour and find out if someone has apricot jam? Because I haven't time to do it.
Has anyone got apricot jam? Now.
Thanks, honey, that's great.
My blood pressure. This cake.
Bakers, there's 10 minutes to go. 10 minutes remaining.
After 4 hours of baking, it's time to apply the finishing touches and prepare to present their bakes to the judges.
Okay. Oh boy. And how's the anchor coming along?
It's worse than I
Please don't break on me.
It's okay. It's fine. Just keep sliding it. You have it.
Right, it's on the tin and I couldn't give a shite.
Bakers, time is up. Stop baking. Jenny.
Anna.
I feel half of your bake is here.
Yes. Yes, it is.
And where's the other half?
It's in the oven. I don't think I can even get it off the baking sheet, to be honest.
Okay, so you're not going to present it?
No.
Okay.
Since I think it's best known sees it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Looking forward to seeing what's inside here.
Nicely put together indeed. Duck is gorgeous.
Yeah, the flavours are really good there.
So it should be a rustic picnic a little bit.
Oh, look at this. Look at this.
I assume you like it.
That is delicious.
I like that too.
Yeah, well done on it. There's something missing. A pastry doesn't look like it's cooked enough, and it just doesn't look full.
I was trying to go for a neat arrangement. I was trying to think of what you get when you go into a restaurant and you get a piece of pastry served to you.
If you were to cut one of these butterflies per portion, that's too small.
Yeah.
So what we have here is
very undercooked on the bottom. It's just not crisp.
I actually really like that flavour. That's really pleasant. Just got a nice big slice here.
Just looking at that pastry, you know, this is a little bit on the pale side.
Yeah. I don't know.
Up to your taste?
No, I'm thinking that's split. And I think there should be more flavour in there. I know it's missing something.
It
It's very
needs some fruit in it, I agree.
a little bit bland, and it seems like it's split. But you have a look at the presentation.
I
of
think
that.
it's absolutely gorgeous.
I mean, straight away, just
It really, really is.
wow! Look at that. It
10,
is.
I want to have you.
Let's have a look at that.
The pastry just went like cake, and I have no idea why.
Well, it's very thick, isn't it?
Yeah, it's terrible. Like, it is actually awful.
The flavour from the tart is really, really special. It's got a nice little kick to it. Is this something that you would be happy to put it to wow myself and Betty as judges on the Bake Off?
I am who I am, and this would be very me. It would be rustic, simple platter.
But rustic kind of and showstopper don't necessarily go together in the same breath.
For me, that's not a wow. It's not a showstopper. That the pastry's uneven. It looks a little bit rough. It looks empty. It's cooked on one side, maybe this, and there's nothing on this side here. Ooh, look at all the layers. This is what baking is about.
The ham? I got the ham. Yeah.
Wow, and it's still warm.
I like the apricot. It lifts the flavour.
That's stunning. That's such a nice flavour.
Thank you.
Yeah. Betty, what do you think of this? Nice, huh?
I absolutely adore the idea of this.
It's filled with elderflower curd and rhubarb
Oh my God.
jelly.
That is delicious.
The big surprise.
Look at that. Looks like a smiley face there, doesn't
Just a bit.
it? So this is a full Irish, yeah? This is the best full Irish I've ever seen. That's interesting.
Great flavours going on there.
That's what it's all about. People like yourself trying new ideas, mixing and matching. Sometimes they don't work, sometimes they do. This time it has worked.
Thank you.
Hi, Jenny. It's really falling apart quite easily, and
Yeah.
even as I'm cutting, I'm struggling to get it off the parchment paper. Pears are very crunchy.
I don't know, it's just not very pleasant to eat, to be frank. It's just all one big goo.
You're extremely creative, and you've got this wonderful talent where you can create the most amazing ideas. And I think the only problem at this point is what's in your head cannot be translated into real food.
The
praise from Paul. Hallelujah. Finally we got there.
They applauded my effort, which I actually now see as idiocy anyway.
I think some of those comments were a little bit harsh, but I liked a little bit more positives. I think I am still in danger, like, you just don't know.
You asked for eye-popping and amazing creations. Did you get that, Paul?
They've given me height, they've given me the wow factor, but most of all, they've given me amazing flavours.
Some were stunning, but there were also some disasters.
But it just goes to show the pressure that's here, the demands are high at this level, and it's only going to get better and better.
Bakers, what a week. As usual, I come with good news and bad news. We have found our star baker this week, and it was close, extremely close. So the star baker this week is Tracy. The bad news is that I've got double bad news. Two people will be leaving the Great Irish Bake Off. The first person to leave the Great Irish Bake Off this week is Jenny. The second person to leave the Great Irish Bake Off this week is David.
Dave was playing very safe in his bake. I don't know whether he had much more to give. And in this competition, you need to push yourself a little bit and show that you're being a little bit more creative than ordinary.
I'll probably take a break, I'd say, for a few days anyway, or a few weeks, and then I'll probably start taking it back up again, like try and, I suppose, not be so safe anymore. Can't run her up, I suppose, isn't too bad, like.
Well, Jenny was the type of person who had some amazing ideas, but she just couldn't bring it from the head onto the plate.
I'd probably be in floods of tears if I'd produced something that I thought was my best and they just didn't like it. As it is, I just messed up. I'm really sad to be leaving. I love Camp Bake Off.
I'm absolutely thrilled. Stiff competition in there. I guess that makes it an even better achievement personally.
Next time on the Great Irish Bake Off.
We want 24 perfect biscuits.
Oh my God, they're gonna tear us to pieces. They're just gonna be so annoyed with us.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
I'm not going to taste this one.
Now, come on. That was not in the challenge.
Paul looks like he's going to cry.